Hey everyone, welcome back. This is part 63 of my Death Stranding 2 complete platinum walkthrough. This part and 2 more to go, and we should have a platinum in 35 hours. Well, me anyway, with this optimal route I've been taking, probably taking you a bit longer. But yeah, we're about to go to Mexico, so we're out the Dowser. We're just going to call over our trusty ship, the mothership, DHV, Magellan, whatever you want to call it. Yes, call it over, and we're going to warp to Mexico. So the way Mexico is going to work is, first of all, we're going to take on loads of orders, except for the orders at the Boca. The true reason is because I completely forgot about that one, but it doesn't really matter anyway, because it all works out. Yeah, we just do Boca on the way back past him when we go to another facility, so it's not a big problem, but yes, pretty much going to first take on every single order, except for the ones in the Boca. But if you want to do the Boca as well, we can do it. Like I say, I kind of forgot about it when I was routing this, and then when I realised I didn't need to go back and change anything, because it kind of all worked out anyway without any extra work. Because like I say, we go past the Boca anyway to take on more orders. So yeah, we're going to warp to the former Geophysics Research Lab to begin. Yes, the former Geophysics Research Lab. And before I came over, you probably noticed I got rid of all the lost cargo for Australia in the DHV, in the shared locker. The reason being is because if you come over to Mexico, the cargo in the shared locker, you'll not be able to interact with it. It'll kind of be not highlighted, and you'll not be able to discard it or anything until you go back to Australia. So I just want to get rid of it now, because of course we're doing it in Australia, and then of course hopefully it'll make it so there's more space for Mexico cargo to come in. I'm not saying it does anything. I mean, maybe it doesn't really have an effect, but I just don't like having that cargo in the locker that I can't interact with anyway. You know, I'd have to go back to Australia first in order to get rid of it and then come back. So yes, we're going to the former Geophysics Research Lab. Check for any shared cargo first. Take it out, put it in the private locker, guys. And then what we want to do next is take on orders 233, 237, and order 240. The reason we left the other one because it's an express order, and we'll do that later. So orders 233, orders 237, and orders 240. And as you can see, we've also got a coffin board, which we bought from DHV. Yeah, any shared cargo, put it in the private locker here. To start with, we're going to be warping around in the DHV, and we do not want to penalise any of our cargo. We're going to make sure we get the full amount of likes when we deliver it. Yeah, so from here, I'm just going to beach jump. Yes, I'm going to beach jump to South Distro Center next. There's actually two F1s in Mexico, so try not to mix them up. Yeah, one of the F1s is the South Distro Center, and the other one has a much different name to it. Yeah, more like a Mexican name. So yes, and now once we arrive at the, sorry, not F1, it's C1. There's two C1s. One is a South Distro, and the other one is the Del Norte area. So yes, once at South Distro Center, first you're going to quick save and change it to casual difficulty, because we're going to be taking on some elimination orders now. Yes, to take on, make sure it is on casual difficulty, guys. Check for any shared cargo in the locker, and then we want to take on every order here. Yeah, take on every order in this distro. So 223, 227, 229, 230, and 231. Now put order 231 on your back, but leave everything else in the private locker. Yes, order 231 can stay on your back, but like I say, everything else, leave it in the private locker. Only take order 231 with you. Like I say, make sure you're on casual, because we just took on that elimination order. Right, and do not change difficulty back until we've done it. And of course, try not to take too much damage until these orders have been completed, because any damage you take from now on when the order is active will count. Right, so we've got order 231. And then from here, we're going to go up to the artist. Yeah, that's why we took this order with us, because we're going up to the artist next. The DHV does not park outside the artist. That's why I come this way. And you also want to make sure, I mean, it doesn't really matter if you did not craft one there. You could just craft one at the artist, Yeah, make sure you got a PCC2 if you guys, because you want to put down a transponder outside the artist just in case there's not one there already. Like I say, no DHV can come here, so we have to rely on the transponder, or just coming up like this up a hill. Right, so artist, yeah. But this order, do not deliver it yet. It's for the artist, but all we want to do is leave it in the private locker. If you don't remember why I'm taking on all these orders, is so when we get all the combat points from the elimination orders, it's going to give us much more likes for every single order which are currently active. So yes, put order 231 in the private locker for later. Check for any shared cargo, of course leave that in the private locker as well. And then take on every single order here. So you've got order 247, 249 and 252. They should be the orders you've got available. Yes, and then you want to put all the cargo inside a private locker. Make sure you have a PCC2, and then put down a transponder if there's not one nearby already. If there is, you can just use that one. But yeah, put down a transponder, guys, just in case there's not one nearby. And then what we're going to do next is going to walk back to C1 SDC. Yeah, C1 South Distro Center. Walk back to there. And then what we're going to do is, once we get back, we're just going to check for any new shared cargo that's appeared. Then we'll get coffin boards and go over to Villa Libra. Yeah, we used the DHV to get there. I think the DHV goes to every area here, except for the artist, and I can't remember if it goes to the Boca or not. Yes, I'm just going to recycle most vehicles because I don't really have many materials here, because they're all at such lower level. But you can always just craft it on the ship. Yeah, if you don't have enough materials down here, yeah, you can just go and craft it on the ship. Yeah, let's just craft one on the ship. Yeah, I was going to check if I had anything else I could kind of recycle, but I don't. Just my skeleton and stuff, and I need them. Yeah, so I'm going to warp to Villa Libra next. And we're going to do the same thing there, guys. Take on all the orders, check for any shared cargo. And then the final one we're going to be checking will be C1 CNDN. Yeah, this is what I'm going to call them. So like I say, there's two C1s. I'm going to call one CNDN, which is a Del Norte. And the other one will be CNSDC, which is of course South Distro Center. To be honest, I think I'm just going to call one South Distro Center. I'll call that one SDC. So from now on, guys, if I say SDC, I mean the South Distribution Center. And if I say C1, I mean the Del Norte. Yeah, Del Norte, which basically the initials will be CNDN. But yeah. So C1 will be the Del Norte and SDC will be South Distro Center. So yeah, craft a coffin boards, warp over to Villa Libra, guys, and let's head inside and take on a bunch more orders. So first, yeah, shared cargo. Grab any cargo inside and put it in a private locker ready for later. Yes, and the orders you want to take on are 211, 213, 214, 219, 220 and 221. Yeah, basically every order there pretty much. 211, 213, 214, 219, 220 and 221. Yes, take on every single order. Some of them are very, very small orders. You're not going to get likes just from that order by itself. But the way we're going to get a bunch of likes is stacking up loads of combat points before we complete this order. That's how we're going to make all these orders more optimal when it comes to handing them in. I don't know how long this would have took if we didn't do it this way. Yeah, if we were like taking on orders and just doing them straight away, as opposed to stacking them all up and getting all these combat points. Yeah, I don't know how it would have worked, because I have read quite a lot of posts about players having to wait for orders to refresh in Mexico, and we never had to do this at all. Yeah, I was a bit worried when I first came here, and so I'm optimizing it. But yeah, this kind of action we're doing, I actually did this first thing. It wasn't something where I had to spend hours here and then I reloaded and tried a few things. this was one of the first things I kind of thought about doing. You know, I came around here. First I looked at all the orders available, and I thought, you know what? First I'm going to take on every single order and then do the elimination ones. And I want to see how this works out. Yeah, and as you can see from these next few videos where we get platinum, it worked out pretty well. So yes, now we're at C1, CNDN. Remember Del Norte. Yeah, so we warp to C1, CNDN. Yep, and you want to take on orders 200, 202, 205 and 210. We're basically taking on every order we come across except for express orders, of course. So yes, take on orders 200, 202, 205 and 210. I think there's another elimination / destruction order in there. And of course we're in casual difficulty. So once taken on them orders, of course check the shared cargo as well. We're going to go back to DHV, guys. We're going to finally warp to Sam Shelter. There's nothing at Sam Shelter, but I like this as a starting point, because this first few enemies in this first area, the enemies are on the far side of it, basically the Sam's Shelter side. So it just seems a bit more optimal to go from this direction, instead of like driving past the enemies and then coming all the way back. Yeah, start from Sam Shelter. It puts you a bit closer, so it's not as far to go. And you also get a few extra lost cargo along the way. So yes, what we're going to do now. So now we're ready to do the orders. So we're going to take out a good truck. You also want to take out 2 PCC-1s, a silent sniper rifle, and 2 boiler stun guns. Yeah, take them with you as well. Yeah, you basically want to be carrying everything around with you now. There's 6 facilities here, and we're pretty much going to be going to every single one in the vehicle at some point. Yeah, so any cargo you find for any facilities here, take all of it with you. Yeah, I mean, it will come a point where we've maxed facilities, and then of course when we've maxed a facility, there's no need to take cargo for that specific facility anymore. But of course, until they're maxed, take on any cargo you find for them. Same with lost cargo, and I'm just crafting some new boots, guys. Yes, mine's got holes in the bottom. Need to craft some new ones. Yep, any lost cargo you find in the wilds, take it, guys. You're going to see me doing it. I don't go too far out of the way. I mean, I do kind of know where all the cargo is, because I've optimized this. I've done the route a few times, reloaded, done it again. Yes, I do kind of know where all the cargo is. So yes, any lost cargo along the way, grab it. I mean, if you just want to make sure you're grabbing what I'm doing and you don't want to be exploring too much, then yeah, just follow my lead, guys, and I'll show you all the stuff nearby. We'll be doing aid requests as well along the way. Yes, any aid requests which are along our route and pretty simple to do, yes, we're going to be doing. There's quite a lot of facilities here which we're going to be maxing them the first time we go back to them with orders. For example, Villa Libra will be maxed first thing. Yeah, first time we go back with a bunch of orders. The artist, I believe, is also maxed the next time we go back to it, a bunch of orders. And the same with former geophysics lab. And then the other 3 remaining, SDC, C1 Del Norte and the Boca. Yes, the Boca takes 2 visits, and the other 2, I think they take 2 or 3, something like that. But yes, I just grabbed a piece of lost cargo. Down here on the left you find another piece. Yep, and then we come right. The reason I come over to this side is because it's got a better vantage point of all the enemies. There's only about, I think it's 5 enemies here. But yeah, the reason we made 2 PCC level 1s to bring with us is we want to put down a watchtower, and I think the other is just for a generator in case you ever need one. So yeah, put down a watchtower on the edge of this cliff. This is what I like to say. This is why it's good to start from Sam's Shelter. It gives you a really good vantage point for this first destruction order over here. So yeah, put down a watchtower, guys. Use it to mark all the enemies. Yeah, like I say, there's about 5 enemies here. I don't know why there's so few. Maybe if the cupid was off, there'd be more. I didn't actually test that. But yeah, remember, with a watchtower, you can actually access it remotely. There we go. So 5 enemies there should be. Yeah, the reason you come over to this right side is because there's 1 around the right side of the wall. Yes, that's 3, 4, and yeah. So you see that one, number 5, on the right side of the building. This way you have to be on the far right of this cliff in order to see him. Right, so 5 enemies. There might be a few more for you, I don't know. Remember, I've actually never come back to Mexico since we was here back in the story. So I've probably not been back here. When did we leave Mexico? Back in the, what's it, part 8 or something? Like way back. Probably earlier than that. But yeah, I've not been here for a long time. So yeah, I'm going to knock out all 5 enemies now. So I've got that dude over there. I think I need to move a bit more. Did I take him out? No, I did. No, I didn't. Right, so take him out. Yeah, so we're on cash rule. So it's going to take about 2 shots to knock out each enemy. Yeah, unless you get a headshot, of course. Yeah, it's normally 2 roaming around here, far in this part of the desert. Right, maybe I'll come back to him. Yeah, there's normally 2 in that far bit there. There's 2 near the front and there's 1 on the far right. Yeah, remember the bullet drop. If you're too far away, you can tell how far away by that small kind of like number on the left side of the center of the reticle. And then the actual where you're aiming, there's like little markers showing you where to aim, if it's 200 meters, 300 meters, 400. Did I get that one on the right? I think I did. So I'm kind of looking for the last enemy now, but I just can't see where he is. Oh, there she is. Yeah, sometimes it's just too bright to see things. There's just too many like little icons on screen. It's hard to find the one you're actually looking for, because you have to shift through all the rest first. But yeah, once took out all 5 enemies. That's it, took them all out there. Yeah, get your truck. So for this order, you have to destroy the cargo. Not take out the enemies, you have to destroy the cargo. And I almost forgot here. So some of the cargo is on top of the wall. And you normally have to climb up. We can actually see it from this side of this cliff. So you don't even have to go up to the building. Just shoot it from the side of this cliff before you go down it. Oh, and this is also where we took on a machine gun. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. But yeah, that's another reason we took on a machine gun. But like I say, you can get up there by just, you have to follow that wall. You see that wall leading up to it. You have to go up the stairs in the front and make way that way. Right, so now what we're going to do here, we're going to come around here. Yep, to this post box. The post boxes I'm showing you are the ones which usually have some cargo inside them. If there's a post box I ignore, it's because I've never found anything in that post box. And I have checked this post box a few times on different saves. And they pretty much almost always have the same stuff, providing of course you're not looted that any different to when I have. I mean, for example, if you've been in Mexico before and already looted it, then of course then it might have something different. Remember, I've not been here since back in the story. So here's another post box. This one also normally has some lost cargo inside it. And all this lost cargo we're collecting, guys, it is going to matter. If you don't collect all this lost cargo that I'm doing along the way, then you might find you don't quite max the facility when I do. If it happens, it just means you've got to do a few more orders. But yeah, just keep that in mind. If you're not collecting so much lost cargo as me, then you might not max them when I do. And I'll just destroy the final pieces of cargo for that order. And now it says report back to Villa Leap. So that's the destruction order. Yeah, so again, try not to take any damage. Any damage you take is going to affect that destruction order and that elimination order we took on earlier. And I think when I complete that destruction order, that'll be 9 complete. I've got 1 more to do and that should be 10. But a bit nearer the end of Mexico, we do have a 11th order show up. But I complete that one story anyway because I've already done them all. But yeah, if you wanted to do that casually, you could do, of course. So yes, now we're making our way back to C1, CN, Del Norte. Yeah, making our way back there now. But I'm going to grab a bit of lost cargo in these ruins on the way. On the right there is some lost cargo for the artist. I leave that one, it's on the rooftop. But I just come left and grab all this cargo in the ruins, kind of on the left as we approach C1. Yeah, some of it you all have to get outside your truck because it's kind of behind some small walls. For example, this one here. Yeah, tomorrow's video will be a bit longer, guys. I think 64 and 63, when I look on my timeline, They look like they're about 38 minutes long. I mean, I have to check if there's anything I need to cut out first. For example, sometimes I do reload a few saves when I'm recording, and I just have to cut out the point where I reloaded. Right, I think that's the last one for the Boca, is it? Just in the lobby of this, is it a hotel or something? Right, yeah, that should be it. Right, so go over to C1CNCN. First, we'll check for any shared cargo, and we're going to deliver all the lost cargo that we have. We're not going to deliver any orders yet. Yeah, we've only taken out 5 enemies, so that's not going to be many points. Yeah, you might get a few triple S messages from facilities back in Australia that we've maxed already. So yeah, do not deliver the order, only deliver the lost cargo. Yeah, remember, like I say, we've only knocked out 5 enemies so far. We want to knock out more enemies yet in order to get more points. This next camp will be going up, I forget exactly how many, I think it's about 12 enemies or something. It's something like that. It's not a lot, but it's not as small as 5 either. So yes, put all your cargo for this facility in the private locker. Cargo for this facility, that's order cargo. Any order cargo for this facility, put it in the private locker. That's it, and deliver all lost cargo. Do not deliver any orders. Hopefully that'll take him up to his 3rd star. Yeah, so deliver all lost cargo, guys. You can check the shared locker as well for any cargo. And like I say, any orders for this depot, leave it in the private locker. And now you want to take out anything going to Villa Libra, because Villa Libra is our next stop. So take on any cargo going to Villa Libra. That's it, ready for tomorrow's video. Yeah, you also want to make sure you got all your weapons on you still, because we're going to be knocking out another camp on the way up to Villa Libra. So yeah, make sure you got all your weapons still. Yeah, so only take the orders going back to Villa Libra, because after Villa Libra, we're going to go there and then we're going to come back here. So only take orders and cargo going to Villa Libra. And then that'll be it for 63, guys. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on 64 tomorrow.